So for the last few weeks, whenever I try to stream, there's been a pattern of me canceling my stream shortly before I start. This isn't because I necessarily hate streaming, but it's because I have a lot of anxiety that is now associated with streaming, and I don't know why. But it does make it hard for me to commit to a streaming schedule. There are 2 games that I want to finish, Deltarune and Near Replicant on hard mode, all the way to ending E. But that just seems like such an impossible task lately. And I'm wondering, what is it about streaming that is inducing all this anxiety? But it's not exactly streaming. It's something else. So for the same amount of time that I've been constantly canceling my streams, I've also been suffering from symptoms of psychosis. Now, about a year ago, I made 2 videos talking about what psychosis is like and what kind of symptoms I experienced during those bouts. Well, today, I want to make a video about what psychosis is like while I'm actually experiencing symptoms. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because a lot of people have asked me questions about what it's like, what my experience is like, what my symptoms are like, how I handle it, my coping mechanisms. Like, a lot of people in my life and in my Discord has asked this before. And I just want to talk. I think that sitting down and talking about symptoms, talking about mental illness helps erase the stigma. Hiding it, pretending like you're not having problems, which is what I've really been doing for the last few weeks, doesn't really help. It does nothing, and it just makes you look flaky and weird, especially when you have like weird responses to certain things. These symptoms have been coming and going in waves. After all, I am medicated, so it's not like they're a constant barrage, but medication doesn't take away all the voices. It doesn't take away all the hallucinations. It doesn't take away breakthrough symptoms. What it does is it makes it easier to cope with, and it kind of takes away like the real negative aspect of voices, kind of, like it depends. So right now I'm hearing a voice in my head telling me that I shouldn't be making this video, that nobody cares, and that there's no reason for me to keep making videos. There's no reason for me to stream, and that no one's listening. And I know that's not true. I know there's at least a few people in my Discord who are definitely listening, that look forward to every single one of my videos. And sorry, it's hard for me to concentrate. There's like these flashes of light that I see out of the corner of my eye, and the delusional thinking is really the worst thing right now. Like, I keep thinking that someone's gonna break into my house. I keep thinking I hear people outside my door. My door is right here, and I keep thinking I hear people outside of it. I keep hearing people walk by, but then when I go and look, there's no one out there, but I'm hearing people talk, and I think they say my name. I think pretty much everybody hates me right now, and I think everybody wants me dead. I sometimes have under the symptoms. And one of the ways that I deal with this is by trying to talk to people, trying to be normal, but it's becoming increasingly harder to maintain that front. I keep thinking that there's people who want to put me into a mental institution, even though no one's expressed any of that, and I don't think I'm bad off enough to end up in one. I'm still pretty lucid, which is how I can make this video and talk about the fact that I'm experiencing symptoms. But I keep thinking that there's people that are going to break into my house and throw me into a loony bin, and I keep feeling like I'm slowly being phased into psychosis. And I've talked about this before, how it doesn't just happen like wham bam thank you ma'am. It happens slowly in phases. You start to notice things here and there. You start to notice the way people talk. You start to notice certain responses and things like that. You start to notice things in your environment. You start to associate things that have nothing to do with you, such as, I don't know, something a YouTuber says in a video, or maybe you hear something on the radio or in a commercial that you believe has to do with you, but it really has nothing to do with you. I'm starting to think that everybody can hear my thoughts and that they know like my deepest, darkest secrets. Now, I know that's silly, but at the same time, I believe it. And one of the things that is really fucked up about this disorder is that you believe things and don't believe them at the same time. And that's how I feel about people listening to me on the phone, people watching me through my webcam, the government tracking everything I do on my computer, the government spying on me in my Discord server, you know? I have all these weird thoughts, but I know they're not real, but I also believe them. And it's really hard to reconcile that. It's really hard to walk around like a walking contradiction, basically, where everything you believe is a lie, but also a fact. I sort of believe that the anxiety and the symptoms that are associated with me streaming, the anxiety that comes, is because I changed my content recently from doing zomboid content to doing more of the stuff that I want to talk about, and of course my views dropped, and then the algorithm decided to tell me to fuck off, and so it doesn't show my videos to anybody. And I believe that that's bothering me, but I just don't acknowledge it because I don't want to. And then it gives me anxiety about streaming because I'm like, nobody's watching me streaming, even though people do watch me stream. So I don't know why I think that, but I think it has to do with the anxiety that comes with a change in content and knowing that you might be letting subscribers down. They subscribe to you because they wanted to watch a particular type of content, and now you're changed and you're doing something different. But I had to stay true to myself, and that's what I try to tell myself every day. But I think that the anxiety and the symptoms are coming as a result of my subconscious processing that, going through and realizing that, your views dropped, the algorithm told you to fuck off, you're kind of wasting your time now, which is why I think voices in my head are telling me I'm wasting my time. But I don't think I'm wasting my time making content. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong by changing to making the content that I would rather do. I just think that, YouTube kind of bullies you when your views aren't doing that great, on the back end, and it makes you feel bad. It shows you the numbers, and that whole system in the back end is designed to make you feel bad. And I think that those and feelings are translating into anxiety before I stream, because I stream on YouTube. Having said that, I've thought about changing to streaming on Twitch, which is something that I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but one of the things that happens when I'm having symptoms like this is I just lose my train of thought. This is completely unscripted. I'm just talking. I didn't even make any notes before this at all, because I just sat down and decided that I wanted to talk about what the fuck I'm going through, and it's not easy to be so open like this, but I have this channel where I wanted to express myself, and talking about mental health, talking about what I go through, talking about this type of stuff, as I said earlier, helps relieve the stigma, but it also helps relieve the pain of living with it every day. Just knowing that somebody is listening. Whenever me and Josh sit down and we talk about our lives, I always feel better after, and he always feels better after. And I think that having this channel as an outlet is a way to make me feel better. It does. It is a way to make me feel better, because I get to express myself for however long, and then it's over with. It's like venting to a camera, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you're suffering through symptoms, if you have a mental illness, if you have some sort of disease, if you are suffering in silence, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. Don't be afraid to talk about it, because it really can be relieving. When it feels like there's no hope, other people can offer you hope. Don't suffer alone.